So one of the very first poems that I heard you recite was Charlotte is Beautiful, which you will all hear tonight. It reminded me so deeply of this fight to make Charlotte different for our children and the work that we all can do to create hope in this city. Would you mind sharing your journey in the poem with us?
Yeah. First of all, I'm so excited to be here. Yeah. I'm going to command that you all share this space with me tonight. So, I mean, I know everybody looks nice and is dressed up and all that good stuff, but this is art, so we're going to share. It's like this give and take that we're going to have with each other, all right? Okay, now that we got that out of the way. The piece. So I was at some other event at Camp North End, and a pastor from our community, James Howell, came up to me and asked me, he said, I'm working on this project, and I think it was through the church. He's Myers Park Baptist or Presbyterian or one of the Myers Park churches. He's the pastor of that. And he said, we're asking people from our community, especially those who sort of are working in the community, what makes Charlotte beautiful to them. And will you do a quick interview with me? It's just a quick, I'll record you saying what makes it beautiful, and then we'll go on our way. And I was like, I will, but I would like to answer that in poetry. I was like, I can do a little short poem, that's fine. But he was like, oh, okay, of course you would. And he said, so he came over to my home. I had a very short poem for him to hear and for him to record. And we did the recording, and he was like, oh, wow, that was great. And he said, it's interesting the take that you took on it, because when I asked the mayor and some other folks, one thing that came up often when I asked them what made Charlotte beautiful was the tree canopy. And I was like, yeah, the tree canopy is great for those who get to experience it. Right? And Charlotte is beautiful, but also I look at beauty as a complicated thing sometimes, right? So I look in the mirror and put on makeup and feel beautiful once I've got all made up. And sometimes when I'm just at home chilling with nothing on, I still feel beautiful, right? I'm the same person. But though there's levels to beauty, that's right? And so I told him, before I even wrote the short poem, I'm not going to just give you the shiny things, because our beauty is a little complicated. And after I wrote that poem, he asked me if they decided to turn it into this series, this community series where they would invite speakers and that type of thing. And it was one of the first events that I went to in 2020. It's the last event the last big speaking engagement that I had before the world shut down. And I extended the poem to write this that I'll share tonight. And I'll share with you all, for me, it was such a challenging night because, so my brother surprisingly, tragically passed away November of 2019. And I was really nervous to be in community again. I just felt like, I don't know how to explain it, but I was gonna have some mark on me of people knowing, because I'm public with my things, that you just experienced this tragedy, now we're gonna wanna hug you and all those things, and I didn't want that. I was so nervous to be there that night. And I came in, and I was also nervous to share this piece, because I didn't wanna bring the temperature down. Charlotte is beautiful, but we got some things to talk about. And it was one of the most beautiful nights I've had. So, Charlotte, we come in, we feel each other in the ways that we need to, right? So this is the piece. I'm happy to share it with you all tonight. I have spent many a day questioning her future, calling her out and calling her in. I have publicly challenged her choices, criticized her politically, charged her to do better. We have a complicated relationship, and ultimately it's because I love her and I want her to win. I believe in her. I believe in the possibility of what she can become. She is beautiful now, but that beauty is often a mirage. She is powerful to many, but with those within her inner circle acknowledge the facade. know what's under, beneath the surface, in the ground, her roots. We see her secrets, and yet we still love her despite the difficulties of her truth. For she is our Charlotte, the city that has opened herself to give us the place that we call home. We have found a sanctuary within her borders. This is where we build our legacies and our memories, where we deepen our connections and find spaces to grow and belong. And because she is ours, we have earned the right to challenge her and demand her growth. Because she belongs to us, we will hold her to higher standards. We want a city that raises the bar and breaks the mold, opens its arms with opportunity and hope, creates spaces for the most vulnerable within her city to heal and cope. And there is no denying that there is an abundance of love here, an overpowering belief in the future of this place. There are people who make it easy to love here, people who have opened their homes and their hearts, people who continuously hold and keep space. For this is our city, the place that we will keep fighting for, the place that we will continue to build. This is our city, home to some of the most beautiful and interesting spaces, a city that makes you feel hope, a city that encourages you to dream, a city that is promising and passionate, a city that gives you space to believe. And that's how love works. That's what loving Charlotte means. It's examining the truth of her history and working towards an uplifting legacy. That is where we see her light, and that is where we see her beauty. It is nestled in the details. It's hidden in the open spaces. It's seen in the nighttime, that beautiful skyline. It is within those who have given to her for multiple generations. Those who have lived here because they've had no choice but to live here. For how can we discuss the beautiful of Charlotte and not talk about her natives and the ancestors and elders who have built a foundation? For a city that honors where she has grown from is a city prepared for future greatness. And as for me, I only want to live in a city, grow and build in a city, work and love in a city that is willing to do the absolute most to ensure that all living here are living up to their God-given potential. I only want to claim a city, stamp me and my family's last name to a city that chases freedom and equality in a way that is monumental. Our Charlotte, a city of opportunity, booming with creativity and everything that it takes to take things to the next level, with an abundance of raw talent and all of these people with fresh concepts and new ideas of imaginative work to be done. Charlotte is beautiful. Yes, she's so very beautiful, not solely for what she is or has been, but Charlotte is beautiful for who she is destined to become.